Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. For the news first, we are the people. Come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Water levels of the Nilvala River on the rise. Many areas in Mathura flooded. Heavy showers expected today as well. Landslide warnings issued to 8 districts. A 17-year-old boy died after a mound of earth collapsed onto a house in Abilipitia. Dr. Ramesh Patirana appointed as Minister of Health. Israel continues attack on Gaza Strip. Afghanistan take on Pakistan in the 22nd game of the ICC Cricket World Cup.
On to those stories in detail. A cabinet reshuffle took place this morning at the Presidential Secretariat.
Kelly Ramukwala was removed from the position of Minister of Health and appointed as the Minister of Environment. Dr. Ramesh Patirana was appointed as the Minister of Health in addition to his portfolio as Minister of Industries. Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amaravira was appointed as the Minister of Plantation Industries. Ranjit Siyavalapitiya was appointed as the non-cabinet Minister of Plantation Enterprises, apart from his post as State Minister of Finance.
The Nilvala River has reached the minor flood level. That is due to the rainfall experienced in the upper and middle reaches of the Nilvala River Basin. The Irrigation Department says that Kotapola, Pitamaddara, Pasgoda, Akurasa, Aturalia, Malimbada, Tihagoda, Mathura and Devinura Divisional Secretariat divisions may experience significant level of flooding. SPC Sugishwara, Director of the Hydrology Unit of the Irrigation Department, stated that public should remain vigilant.
The water level of the Nilvala River has risen due to heavy rains. As of this morning, the value of the Panadugama water gauge in Nilvala River was recorded at 6.30 meters. Currently, the lowlands, side roads and houses in Mathura, Kumaratha Samavata and Kurunduvat areas are inundated. Malimbada Vellathota Road is also flooded from the Vellathota area. Our correspondent said that the vehicular movement along the road was disrupted. Meanwhile, the Mathura Malimbada Kadduwa Road is currently inundated at several places. Mathura, Vilpita, Lenabatu reservoirs are currently overflowing. The Kirama Oya is also overflowing due to heavy rains. As a result, the areas of Mathura, Deyandara, Sinipalla and Makandura areas are inundated. This is the situation in Mathura Urubukka area this morning. Many low-lying areas and side roads are inundated in Mathura Dikwala area. Meanwhile, Mathura, Dikwala, Yonakapura, Wattegama, Valaswala, Polgahamulla lowlands and byways remain underwater. Gaul district has also been affected by the heavy showers. Several houses in Gaul, Balapitiya, Pathagam area are currently inundated. This is the situation in Gaul, Nugaduwa, Vijayananda Mavata and Kanampiti areas. Gaul, Unavatuna Mataramba Sampurthi Bank office is currently inundated. Gaul Alutwala Hikkaduwa main road was completely underwater from Pahalavela area. Our reporter said that the water level is currently receding. Meanwhile, the lowlands in Alutwala, Ovitavatta and Pahalvela areas are still underwater. A house has been damaged due to a landslide in Hadidemala Hill, Babvegama, Gaul. The landslide took place early this morning.
A 17-year-old boy has died after a mound of earth collapsed onto a house in Kolonna, Amelipitia.
Tragedy struck last night in the village of Moravadi in Kolonna in the Ratnapura district. News First correspondent reported that a mound of earth had collapsed onto a house around 11 last night. 4 people were in the house at the time of the incident, and the 17-year-old boy was later pronounced dead. He is an advanced level student of the Dorapane Vidyalaya. His remains currently lie at the Omalpe Divisional Hospital.
The landslide warnings issued for 8 districts have been further extended. Senior geologist of the National Building Research Organisation, Vasanta Senadira, stated that the warnings were issued to the divisional secretariats in Badulla, Gaul, Hambantota, Kalutara, Kandy, Matara, Nuwara and Ratnapura districts. The National Building Research Organisation says that the people in those areas should be aware of rockfalls, landslides, land subsidence and mound collapses. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology says the showers or thunder showers will occur in many parts of the island tonight. Accordingly, rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters of rainfall is expected in central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and eastern provinces. A handbill distribution program informing about the issues that are emerging in the health sector was carried out this morning opposite the Fort Railway Station.
The handbills were distributed by the Government Medical Officers Association.
ඉතිහාසයේ දූෂිතම යුගය සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ගත කරන මොහොතක පිළිකාවක් විදිහට
Today the health ministry is at its peak of corruption. The health sector is suffering greatly. There are no shortcut solutions for this. We as the GMOA is trying to inform the public regarding the issues in the health sector. The president is responsible for saving the health sector. He must intervene and solve these issues.
ජනාධිපතිවරයාට මෙතෙන්දී විශේෂ වගකීමක් පැවරෙනවා. මම හිතන්නේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ජනාධිපතිවරයාගේ මේ මට්ටමේ මැදිහත් වීමක් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා.
Many sectors have expressed concern regarding the issues they will face as a result of increase in the electricity tariffs. Electricity is essential for bakery production, and this price increase will make it difficult for us to continue operating. We cannot afford the additional cost, but we also cannot increase the price of bakery products. Please face the reality and come out of your air-conditioned rooms. Electricity bills have increased from 700 to 800 rupees to 3,000 to 4,000 rupees, and tariffs have been increased again while consumers are already struggling to pay these high costs. The IMF says that the government must show this much of income in order to meet its conditions. So to make the IMF happy, the government increases electricity tariffs. Then they say the CEB is making losses. So instead of conducting a special investigation to catch the rogues who stole from the CEB, they are trying to burden the innocent people of this country. At a time when the people are voicing their opposition to the government and gathering to demand information, the government is bringing in new laws to prevent these protests. You have only a few months left. If you are going to be in power, rule this country properly. If not, please leave. A meeting organized by the Samagi Jana Balawagya was held in Biyagama yesterday.
Jalani Premadasa was the chief guest of the event, which saw the participation of many MPs.
Biyagama Pradu Jalani Premadasa Material Yukti Udisa Kantao Samvidane Garu Sababadi.
They make promises one after the other and express subjective opinions. They request the presidential election also. Just look at the program. Check who the leadership behind the program is. We are living in a complex world. The group must have experience. Also, they must be educated. They should have a vision. There is no point of electing someone just because they entered the university and can speak well.
විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිහිල්ලා බෝඩ් එකක් අල්ලලා ජීවිත කාලයටම හොඳ කතාවක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඡන්දෙ දීලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. අද අපේ අම්මලා
Today, if the parents provide one meal for their children, they cannot provide the other 2 meals. There is no way for them to give a glass of milk to their children. They don't have electricity. They are suffering because of this government and the Rajapaksa clan. You must think when you vote next time. We ended up on streets in the past because we did not think in this manner. We should defeat the Rajapaksa clan, Ranil Wickremesinghe, and also their close associates during the next upcoming election.
In line with the 2283rd anniversary of Lord Buddha's arrival in Sri Lanka, many religious activities were organized at the Mihintale sacred grounds.
Religious activities were held under the patronage of the chief incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamaha Vihara, Venerable Professor Valawa Hangunawave Dhammaratana Thero.
අද රටේ මිනිස්සුන්ට ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්කමක් නැහැ.
The people have no means to live in this country. We are facing extreme difficulties. Can you travel these days? Electricity is another issue. Now they are trying to digitize the country. But remember that a student studying biology with the aim of becoming a doctor does not have the basic requirements. Who is responsible if we do not speak up for the students? Do the rulers stand on the side of the community or the people? We are all victims of injustice, regardless of class. So they will try to create problems revolving around race, religion or caste. Don't be deceived. Leader of the Pivithuru Helorume Uday Gamanpila expressed views pertaining to the electricity tariff increase. The PUCSL, instead of staging a drama on obtaining public consultation to revise the electricity tariffs, if they actually did it, they could have prevented this increase from taking place. A revision was due in 2 months anyway, so they had time. If the PUCSL had not become an entity that carries out activities based on the government's requirements, they could have taken the right measures. We do not expect the PUCSL to regulate the electricity sector. We are experienced people in this sector and we could have provided facts pertaining to this topic, but we knew that the PUCSL would ignore our facts. The UN says 14 more trucks carrying humanitarian aid have reached Gaza, only the second such delivery in more than 2 weeks.
14 trucks have gone in a day after the first 28 trucks crossed the Rafah border between Egypt and Gaza. The United Nations humanitarian chief Martin Griffiths said it was another small glimmer of hope for Palestinians, but warns they still need much more. Israel's far-right security minister Itmar Ben-Gvir said there should be no guarantee of continuous aid to Gaza unless Hamas agrees to release all the hostages it continues to hold. The security minister released a statement on X following the news that a second UN convoy of 14 trucks carrying humanitarian aid had been allowed to enter Gaza. He said, quote, "Any agreement on continuous aid to Gaza that does not include the release of all abductees is a continuation of the concept that led us to where we are," unquote. The White House said that US President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have agreed that aid will continue into the Gaza Strip despite ongoing Israeli attacks on the besieged enclave. Israeli military has said that one of its soldiers were killed by an anti-tank missile reportedly shot by the Palestinian armed group Hamas during a raid into the Gaza Strip by the Israeli army. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, during an interview, said that he expects the war to escalate through involvement by proxies of Iran, adding that the Biden administration is prepared to respond if American personnel become the target of such hostilities. Noting that additional military assets had been deployed to the Middle East, including 2 aircraft carrier battle groups, Blinken said that they are taking steps to make sure that they can effectively defend the people and respond decisively if needed to. Meanwhile, China said that it is willing to do whatever is conducive to promote dialogue and to restore peace amid the deepening conflict in Gaza. Chinese veteran diplomat Zhai Jun is currently on a tour of the region and described the situation in Gaza as very serious. He also said a potential large-scale ground conflict and armed conflict spreading to the neighborhood countries were worrisome. He further said that China will continue close communication with all parties in the international community, taking part in Cairo Peace Summit on Sunday.
Meanwhile, Gamini Senaratyapa, media spokesperson of the Foreign Employment Bureau, says that a DNA test will be conducted to identify the body of Anula Ratnayaka Jayatilaka, who died in the Israeli-Gaza conflict.
A
DNA test is to be conducted to identify the body of Anula Jayatilaka, who died during the Israeli war. The embassies have been informed to provide the necessary facilities, especially since the body is said to be unidentifiable. The ambassador has to intervene in that regard and has already done the necessary work. Looking at the current situation, no other Sri Lankans have been affected. Their safety has been further confirmed. Also regarding Yatavara Bandara, about whom there is no information, the embassy has also intervened regarding the next steps. In particular, we will need to obtain and submit a DNA report of his closest relatives, because this is very important in identifying the dead body.
DNA වාර්තාවක් ලබාගෙන ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමට මොකද ඒ මృతදේහ හඳුනා ගැනීමේදී මේක ඉතාමත් වැදගත්.
The official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup India 2023.
News from the world of sports. Afghanistan will take on Pakistan in the 22nd game of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 today. The match is set to be played at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. Pakistan is currently placed 5th in the points table, while Afghanistan are at the bottom of the points table. Pakistan have emerged victorious in all 7 matches played between the two sides. Today's game is set to commence at 2 p.m. local time. Cricket fans can watch and listen to all the action of the World Cup via the MTV MBC networks, the official local broadcast rights holder of the tournament. The matches are being streamed live on www.sirasatv.lk. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. You take care and good day.